Is Box-Behnken a better design than the central composite design in the response surface methodology? I have created both the central response surface design using the central composite method, also the Box-Behnken method, for 5 factors. If you are interested how to do that, you can check this under the openeducator.com. I have a step-by-step process for both Excel and also Minitab how to design them. Now here you know how to do that. So for 5 factors, let's talk about just one factor, the temperature. For example, let's say one of the factor is temperature. The way Box-Behnken is created, so we have this low level factor, and then so the low level is say 67 degree Fahrenheit that we are testing, which is equivalent to 19.4, and the high level is 77 degree Fahrenheit. And then we add a level in the middle, the center point, to design the Box-Behnken design. It's very simple. Check that out if you don't know how to design it. So just add one value, center points, and done with the design. On the central composite design though, there are 2 additional axial points. One is the low axial points and high axial points. Now the biggest problem with the central composite design is these 2 axial points. Now think about the practicality of this 62 degree Fahrenheit or 16 degrees Celsius. Do we really need to study this temperature that someone will feel uncomfortable at that temperature? Same thing for the high level. Do we really need a study to understand that 82 degrees uncomfortable temperature? Absolutely not. We know that. So it doesn't make any sense to design a study spending a whole lot of money and time to know that we already know. So we know that this temperature is uncomfortable. So why would we add that kind of extreme points? Now these extreme points becomes more and more extreme if you have more number of variables. For example, let's say rather than 5 variables, you're running a study with say 9 or 10 variables. Then this number would become almost 90 degree Fahrenheit. You don't need to study this temperature that this is uncomfortable. So this is the biggest issue with the central composite design. It produces or needed actual axial points or star points, which is not justifiable by any means. Of course, there are some advantages. For example, the central composite is a basic fractional factorial design. So you have all advantages of fractional factorial design. Also, it has 5 points, so you can see all the way up to 4th order surface, response surface. On the Box-Behnken, you can only see 2nd order surface because you have only 3 points. You can only make a 2nd order surface. But in central composite, you can make all the way up to 4th order. Now, do you really want to do that? Because if a surface look like this, how do you explain that? The better idea would be just run this study right here, so you can see a train that going up and going down. But going like this, it's not really that informative or meaningful. So the suggestion would be just cut down right here to see the train just in this region, so that we can explain that, okay, as the temperature is very uncomfortable and it's getting comfortable in the middle, and then it's increasing the uncomfortable level again. So it is more meaningful in that small region study instead of adding these extreme points, see lots of curvature effects. So central composite theoretically would make a lot of sense. Now if I have say 5, 6, 10 variables, I wouldn't really go directly into the response surface. I would first run the fractional factorial design to find out. This is where you can find the fractional factorial design details under the openeducator.com. I would first run the fractional factorial design and see which factors really affecting my process, maybe one or two factors. And then I would run the response surface after that with that three variables or two variables. In that case, these axial points would not be that extreme, as because the extreme these axial points go farther away from the center as we increase the number of variables. As the number of variables decreases, then these points start to go towards the center. So then it could be justifiable in that kind of situation. But if you start with again, these axial points really not that practical. So Box-Behnken in practical sense actually have, I think, is much better than the central composite design. But both of these has advantages and disadvantages. Central composite is the basic fractional factorial design, so you have all the advantages of fractional factorial design. On the other hand, Box-Behnken is a incomplete block design, which does not have as much advantages as the fractional factorial design. I hope this helps to kind of apply these both techniques on whatever your practical interest is or the experimental situation is. The both of them are applied depending on the type of study you are doing.